This is the LANSA News Weekly for the week beginning March 10, 2014.
Hello and welcome to the LANSA News Weekly. My name is Delana Kite.
And I'm Janetta Curry. Thank you for joining us today. We will look at some of the stories affecting our community and work. But first, let's take a look at what's going on right here on campus.
LANSA students visited the industrial art facility at Bel Air High School. Mr. Delone, who led the program for several years, guided LANSA students as they practiced their skills in welding, metal, and woodworking. The field trip was both fun and educational.
The National Robotics Program is wrapping up their work. Students from Baton Rouge High and University High joined LANSA students in an after-school project in our school gym to create a robot that will compete in a national competition.
Now, with this week's student profile, here is senior class correspondent Phyllis Stelling.
Hi, this is Philip with the student profile of the week, and I'll be interviewing Diamond Lafayette. So, Diamond, where was you going?
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
What school you previously attended?
Redemptress High School.
What do you like most about Louisiana Middle School?
It is very different from other schools. They have a broad amount of classes, and you get to do a lot of different things and learn things.
So you're telling me that in Louisiana Middle School, like teachers that work with you hands-on with you?
Yes.
What's your favorite subject?
Reading.
Reading. What's your grade point at school?
3.2, I think.
What's your plans after high school?
Going to college, get my bachelor's degree, going back to get my master's in nursing.
How do you spend your free time?
Gymnastics.
Yeah. So like you with improvement and stuff like good at it?
Yes, I'm a level 3.
Level 3, like not like provided. Like good. Like who is your role model in life?
New York State.
Who's your favorite comedian?
Kevin Roberts.
What's your favorite TV show?
SpongeBob.
And that's the student profile of the week.
Also, here on campus, students will soon be visiting various colleges in the area. And please make sure to take note of the approaching deadline regarding the trip to New York, which is just a little over a month away, underneath other announcements.
Locally, Mardi Gras season has ended, even though Mardi Gras Day itself was dampened by some freezing weather. Now, the Lent season is here as well as crawfish season, but because of that same cold weather, supply is low and prices are high.
In education news, officials have announced changes to the SAT, which has been surpassed by the ACT as the most widely taken college entrance test in America. Some LANSA students will be taking the test this week. We wish them the best.
In other news, officials sadly remain puzzled as to what exactly caused a Malaysian Airlines jet carrying 239 passengers to disappear in the South China Sea. 3 Americans were on board.
Tension between Russia and the Ukraine have led to a military invasion by Russian President Vladimir Putin. Some are calling for President Obama and the U.S. to take aggressive military action. Now, here's Cameron Henderson with sports.
The Saints have released some of their most popular players as the free agent period gets underway. Darren Sproles, Lance Moore, and Malcolm Jenkins are no longer on the team. The team's top priority is keeping tight end Jimmy Graham. They have added a top cornerback, Jazz Bird, from the Buffalo Bills to improve the defense. Spring practice is underway in college football. Les Miles and LSU will get their first look at some early enrolled freshmen and begin developing a depth chart. The Saints have released some of their most popular players as the free agent period gets underway. Darren Sproles, Lance Moore, and Malcolm Jenkins are no longer on the team. The team's top priority is keeping tight end Jimmy Graham. They have added a top cornerback, Jazz Barrett, from the Buffalo Bills to improve the defense. Finally, the home of the Pelicans now has a new name. The New Orleans Arena is now the Smoothie King Center.
In entertainment news, fans of Torrance Hatch, better known as Lil Boosie, was pleasantly surprised when a popular Baton Rouge rapper was released from prison earlier this month.
Torrance Hatch was born November 14, 1982. He was born and raised in South Baton Rouge. He was nicknamed Boosie by his parents after the 70s funk singer Boosie Collins. His father died while he was a child. He was a very good basketball player but was expelled from high school for drugs. Drug charges are also what had him in prison for the last 5 years. But while incarcerated, he did earn his GED. His rap career took off after he joined Trillium Entertainment in 2001. Whether you love him, hate him, or just don't get him, you must admit his music was attracting millions of fans in his hometown and worldwide.
Also, in entertainment news, 12 Years a Slave won the Oscar for Best Motion Picture of 2013. That was fitting considering last month was Black History Month, but how many of you knew that March is Women's History Month? One of the stars of the movie, Lupita Nyong'o, who won Best Supporting Actress, addresses one of the issues that affects what it means to be black and a woman, beauty. This is followed by an editorial by our own DeAndre Kemp.
I received a letter from a girl, and I'd like to share just a small part of it with you. Dear Lupita, it reads, I think you're really lucky to be this black, but yet this successful in Hollywood overnight. I was just about to buy Dentsure's Whitenicious cream to lighten my skin when you appeared on the world map and saved me. My heart bled a little when I read those words. I could never have guessed that my first job out of school would be so powerful in and of itself, and that it would propel me to be such an image of hope in the same way that the women of The Color Purple were to me. I remember a time when I too felt unbeautiful. I put on the TV and only saw pale skin. I got teased and taunted about my night-shaded skin. And my one prayer to God, the miracle worker, was that I would wake up lighter-skinned. The morning would come and I would be so excited about seeing my new skin that I would refuse to look down at myself until I was in front of a mirror because I wanted to see my fair face first. And every day I experienced the same disappointment of being just as dark as I had been the day before. I tried to negotiate with God. I told him I would stop stealing sugar cubes at night if he gave me what I wanted. I would listen to my mother's every word, sitting right there, and never lose my school sweater again if he just made me a little lighter. But I guess God was unimpressed with my bargaining chips because he never listened. And when I was a teenager, my self-hate grew worse. As you can imagine, happens with adolescence. My mother reminded me often that she thought I was beautiful. But that was no consolation. She's my mother. Of course she's supposed to think I'm beautiful. And then Alec Weck came on the international scene. A celebrated model. She was dark as night. She was on all the runways and in every magazine, and everyone was talking about how beautiful she was. Even Oprah called her beautiful. And that made it a fact. I couldn't believe that people were embracing a woman who looked so much like me as beautiful. My complexion had always been an obstacle to overcome, and all of a sudden, Oprah was telling me it wasn't. It was perplexing, and I wanted to reject it because I had begun to enjoy the seduction of inadequacy. But a flower couldn't help but bloom inside me. When I saw Alec, I inadvertently saw a reflection of myself that I could not deny. Now, I had a spring in my step because I felt more seen, more appreciated by the faraway gatekeepers of beauty. But around me, the preference for light skin prevailed. To the beholders that I thought mattered, I was still unbeautiful. And my mother again would say to me, "You can't eat beauty. It doesn't feed you." And these words played and bothered me. I didn't really understand them until finally I realized that beauty was not a thing that I could acquire or consume. It was something that I just had to be. And what my mother meant when she said, "You can't eat beauty," was that you can't rely on how you look to sustain you. What actually sustains us, what is fundamentally beautiful, is compassion for yourself and for those around you. That kind of beauty, excuse me, that kind of beauty inflames the heart and enchants the soul. It is what got Patsy in so much trouble with her master, but it is also what has kept her story alive to this day. We remember the beauty of her spirit even after the beauty of her body has faded away. And so, I hope that my presence on your screens and in magazines may lead you, young girl, on a similar journey, that you will feel the validation of your external beauty, but also get to the deeper business of being beautiful inside. That, there is no shade in that beauty. Thank you.
Lapita Young Girl reminds us of what beauty really is. It's not just the color of our skin. It's true beauty, inner beauty, what you think of yourself, not just the social standard.
This concludes our broadcast. As always, thanks for joining us.
Take care, and remember, you can check out our latest broadcast anytime at LouisianaMusicalAcademy.com.